Our next speaker is fringing awesome. Timor-Rousso, the leader of the Fring Alliance.
Good morning. No. Good morning. Thank you. All right. In the next 25 minutes or so, I'm going to take you through three things. First is some of the lessons we have learned about the telco industry and the OTT and the impact. Number two is how that pushed us, together with you guys, to form the Fring Alliance. And third is why we believe, we truly understand that it builds value, real value, and it's a real opportunity. But who knows what this is? Come on, all the geeks in the crowd, what car is that? It's what? You're right, Melissa. That's good. So the DeLorean obviously is a sci-fi movie, but the concept is very clear. Strap in, because we're going to jump into the future, because we can't afford to take baby steps. And if we don't take this jump into the future, we're going to hit the wall at 100 miles per hour, and that can be painful. So let's do a small jump into the future. Now, a couple of insights. Metal boxes, they are great, they are resilient, they are hard, they are costly, and they are not our core business. We're not in real estate, we're not in scrapping metal, we're about giving our users real-time communication for them to communicate with their friends, loved ones, and business needs. So we're actually moving here. So that's the first reality, because this enables us to drive our business. I want, as a business, to be able to do everything I need for my business in real-time communication where I don't actually own the metal. I don't actually own the real estate. Someone else's does. So that's a reality. So cloud, Amazon, Azure, whoever you want. It doesn't really matter. So the center of gravity is moving from managing boxes and real estate to managing services, which is all about managing services, managing my business. So that's one. Number two, canned solution. Canned solution means that one size fits all. My business needs this, your business needs that, but I'm serving you the whole thing. I don't want it, I don't need it, I just need this. Not an option, you have to take the whole thing. Irrelevant, expensive, complicated, not relevant for my business. So we're going here, and as Paul talked about Candy is so important because it takes all the assets, all the IP that Genman has in the telco industry, brings it into the cloud, breaks it down to APIs and SDKs, and then serves them back for you to choose only the things that you need. Because your business is different than her business, which is completely different from his business. Which, by the way, I love your business. It's amazing. Okay? It's all about your business needs. So these are three realities, right? And the third is closed garden. Unfortunately, that's not my garden. I'm planning to buy it, but maybe in the future. Closed garden means that's an in-house, isolated, proprietary solution. Let's build another Facebook. Who's up for it? Let's build another Facebook. Really? If you want to build another Facebook, that's great. But if it's a closed social network, you're in the wrong business because it's about open parks. So that's another reality. We all understand that being closed on an island, which is the real estate, building metal, is great for them, but not for us. Open park means that I'm able to take my communication not just to another network, but to completely new domains. Gaming consoles, laptops, PCs, anything that is able to communicate and connect to the internet, that's my park, that's my playground. And it's much more sexy. Three realities. And it comes down to what we always knew intuitively. It's about the user experience. It's about me be able to experience and service my user. That's it. If I'm able to do that, then I'm serving my business and I'm driving it. It comes down to that. And not just that, and this is an example from Dodo in M2 in Australia, it's about an OTT user experience. Because that's the benchmark today. Having the ability to make a phone call from one place to another is only a friction and only a small part of the user experience. It's about being able to do voice, video, rich messaging, break-in, breakout, multi-party, conferencing, location, screen sharing, you name it. And you know what? There are many other features coming along which I have no idea what they're going to be, but definitely users will expect them, and Candy enables them. And that's what my users expect, because that's the competition in terms of the mind of the user. It's not about price, and it's not about branding, full stop. It's about the whole thing. And by the way, when we're saying user experience, we also mean quality. So what is quality? 5 nines? 6 nines? 7 nines? 2 nines? I have no idea, and neither do you. It's what the user says. And if the user says it's good enough, then it's good enough. And move on. So don't let the nines define your strategy. So if I need to talk about core paradigm shift, the way that we see talking to you guys all over the world. 4 things. Number 1, business is driven by business, product and marketing, not engineers. How many engineers in the audience? Raise your hand. Engineers, don't be shy. It's OK. We love you. It's OK. How many? OK. Guys, we love you, but you don't drive the business. Actually, product and marketing should. That's their mission in life. Number 2, time to market. When the benchmark for an OTT application, for a service provider, for an internet player to launch a service in weeks and months and not years, when his attitude is fail fast forward, that's the benchmark. And if you're telling me, if you're telling your business partners, let's put it in lab for 6 months, let's do a closed trial, and in 18 months you're introducing a service, you're irrelevant, right? We all know that. So these are the paradigms. Now, upfront investment. So if I don't have the real estate, and I don't have the metals, and I'm going to the cloud, and also now I'm not going on a canned solution because I'm going Candy, it means that I don't need to tie up huge amount of investments upfront. Because you know what? I'm not sure what's going to work and what's not, but I want to be able and have the flexibility to trial and error, to launch many services, many features, change my mind all the time to see what works and what doesn't work. And for that, I'm expecting to do it agile and cheaply. And the ones who succeed, I'll put the resources behind that. And 4th, talk to me about outcomes. Don't talk to me about technology. So let's think about it for a second. Opus, H.264, VP8 are amazing buzzwords for the geeks in the audience. My girlfriend doesn't care. All she cares is that whenever she wants, she can pick up her iPhone and have a video call with me. That's all. The fact that in the back we're doing magic, who cares? Talk to me about the outcome, not about technology. Talk to me about the ability to make a phone call, a video call into my set-top box. That's cool. How it happened in the back, that's for us. So those are paradigm shift. Now, it means that this paradigm shift gives me the tools to go into a very exciting ride. Because when we started with Fring, as a baseline, it's about, in the region of Fring, consumer white label OTT. And then we went to white label OTT, and that was great. But we understood that from you guys, from you the carriers, that these numbers in the back actually represent potential future, one potential future. And we see two strategies, and I'm generalizing now. We see one strategy from carriers and service providers is, we're done throwing the towel, we'll become a dump pipe, a really dumb pipe. And that's one strategy. The other strategy, we want to fight back. Because we want to re-engage with our users, we want to take the value back to our core, because we can do that. Because we as the carrier have the assets. So these are the two sides of the strategic spectrum, if you like. And by launching with several carriers, these are some of the carriers that we've been working with, and others that we'll launch soon, we had started the discussions on a strategic level, because we did that, and we were very happy, and the millions of users, and everything's great, but they came and they said, listen, we need a strategic play. This is not good enough for our strategic mission, because we need to be relevant not just today, but in 3 years. This is not a PR stunt. This needs to represent something fundamental. In order to do that, we need to go bigger and wider and stronger. And that got us thinking. So actually, one of the carriers said, listen, Roy, you guys are great, you guys are amazing, blah, awesome. But you need to be able to do warp speed for me. You're my Scotty. All the trackies in the room, fine? You know who Scotty is? Or should I explain? OK, fine. Warp speed, right? That's a requirement. So if I need to bring it down to something very crystallized, it's federation, federation, federation. Because I'm no longer about me. I'm about how am I enabling my users, my consumers, my business users, to federate with everyone else on an OTT experience on any device connected to the internet. So it's not the GSMA or something like that. It's much bigger, wider than that. That's the scope. That's the product value. That's what drives success. So we took this. We've been pushed positively by the carriers, by the industry, to drive the Fring Alliance. And the Fring Alliance is very simple. It's our product platform IP in a business structure which is create the largest carrier OTT network, where it's your user, your brand, your billing, your packaging, in going across any network and any device, totally agnostic, and you are actually part of the owners. You actually have a say in the roadmap. You actually have a say in where this is going. So it's not just partner, supplier type of relationship. And that's innovative, because we understood that you, and I'm generalizing, want to be able to take a real ownership of where this thing is going, because it becomes so important in your strategic play that you don't want just to leave it to someone else, to some supplier that will come and go. You want to be able to actually be part of the roadmap, be part of the features, be able to integrate while maintaining your identity. And that's a big difference versus any other alliance, if you like, out there versus any other social network. So it's your user, it's your brand, it's your billing, but you're able to drive it. And your packages is different than others. What Airtel is doing is fundamentally different what WIG is doing, which is different from PLDT, from M2, from Vodafone, and they're all on the same platform. But they have the flexibility via Candy to pick and choose and package it in the way they need. And they'll all will be able to federate. And that's a big thing. That's a big change. Now, 30 seconds about RCS. RCS was designed, created in 2008, in order to provide carriers the ability to provide an alternative to the OTTs. They are failing, and they're failing because not because it's a bad technology. Actually, it's a great technology. It's awesome. It's amazing. Super. But it's not designed to compete with OTTs. It can't compete with OTTs because it is working in the DNA of a carrier. Of let's put something 6 nines in a lab, trial it, package it, and by the time it's out, it's already obsolete. it's not equipped to do that. And what we do, and what Candy does, and what Fring Alliances does, is saying, that's just another network. We're fully complementary to that. We're just adding to that. And we actually, if you already have RCS, that's amazing, that's great. We'll just take it and plug it into more devices, more networks, and make more value out of the investment you already have done into our RCS network. So it's a benefit, it's actually. And one of our customers is using us to bring his RCS to all these non-RCS devices and all these non-RCS networks, right? Because we're an OTT DNA. Now, we also understood that there's a need for the Fring Alliance to come with the credibility of an OTT player. And the credibility of a player that has the full IP of a telco-grade equipment manufacturer, Genban. And that gives us credibility because it's Candy, it's Genban, and it's the team from Fring that has been doing OTT for the last 7 years. And that is unique, because whenever carriers try to do them by themselves, this is one of the challenges they have. They don't have this DNA. And we're running tens of millions of users on this network. So we feel confident to do it. So our commitment that if you bring your users, your brand, into the Fring Alliance, we commit to drive, develop, and innovate, to optimize operational costs, because that's what we do, to bring business opportunities, to facilitate the adoption and the lessons learned across the federated members of the Alliance, and to support any worldwide initiatives, advertising, marketing, you name it. So instead of taking a position of competition or a supplier-provider, we're here together on that. And it's, again, I think it's showing innovation and clarity of what the vision can be. As one of the CEOs of the carriers, I think he's actually in the audience, said, it's like the United Federation of Carriers, which I thought was kind of cool metaphor. Now, one of the first to join the Alliance, and couldn't come here today, but would like to comment, is Deutsche Telekom.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gil from Deutsche Telekom, and I lead a group that is responsible for creating the next, it's going to be the next generation communication platform for the group. And I wanted to say a few words about the Fring Alliance. For us, it's a very interesting concept of Fring Alliance, but at the same time, a very intuitive one. We're all very easily developing our own engines and platforms and creating services for our customers, but we're forgetting sometimes that customers are not part of our own corporate bubble and that they have lives which are connected to other services and products. And it's very important for us when we looked about how communication should be from the eyes of the customer, that we do something that really serves that need. Not to say, what do we need? But if we had to build something today, looking at what customers are doing and what other competitors are doing, how would we build the best communication platform both for us and for our customers? And when it came to developing that, we realized we need two things. A, something that's proven, scalable, market tested, and that as an engine, of course, the Fring product stand that test. And secondly, we wanted something that did something which was outside the box of what we as a telco usually does, and that's something that's interoperable with the rest of the world. Now, of course, SMS and phone numbers are interoperable, and that's actually the biggest community. So why can't we take that also to the next generation messaging platform? It makes total sense. It's not even it's a no-brainer. And for us, the Fring Alliance is a great head start. We're using a proven OTT product that has been used and is being used by tens of millions of customers on one hand. On the other hand, we're plugging into something that we can take and customize and use on our own in a way that is differentiated and unique in the context that we're looking to head in. So that is a very important reason why we have chosen to onboard the Fring Alliance. Otherwise, probably also just as important is that's not part of the product requirement. It's just part of the spirit that we're looking for, whether it's Roy standing right there, is it? Or maybe it's there.
No.
Hey Roy,
No.
I hope I'm not embarrassing you. Roy and the team are a great bunch of people, and also I've had the pleasure of meeting David, and the passion and the motivation to actually make something and make a difference on a global scale is something that I feel that we internally, my team, that's of course something that we have been striving for, but definitely also the people at Fring, we have felt more than anybody else that we've spoken to share the same passion. And that is something for us that is as strategic as the product requirements, of course, and the technical requirements.
Now, one of the things we are adamant about is we're not building a bigger network. A bigger network is great by itself, but that's not the center of gravity. The center of gravity, as David said, we build value. And if you look behind all the technology and all the sexy technology elements, features, SDK, we're building value. We're building value for us as partnerships, and that's what it's all about. So the marketing team did really awesome job, really cool stuff in putting and visualizing the building of the value into a very short video, which Beta, Patrick, respect, and can you please?
Fring is a social messaging app that consumers love and a proven winner that some of the largest service providers are taking viral. Fring has been carrier grade since day one, and now we're building an alliance of service providers and the largest universal directory on the planet, so you can compete with over-the-top challengers. The Fring Alliance. Why wait for rich communication services? Got to market today. Fring Alliance users keep their numbers and use rich communications from any screen on any network. They stay loyal to your brand while federating with users from other carriers.
So the carriers can go ahead and brand it the way they want, they can sell it the way they want it, they can bundle it with their products and services. We're just the core infrastructure to make sure the basic feature functionality that's required to make this work is there, and that the large community is available to them.
The Fring platform works perfectly with existing billing and operating systems, making it easy for you to roll out and support. Fring is delivered as a service and from the cloud. This is a true alliance that is owned by the members. The more subscribers you bring to the service, the more value you create for your business.
So we're not just talking about building another over-the-top. We're talking about doing two things. Building the largest community in the world, bigger than any of the communities that the over-the-tops have, by federating the community. And two, delivering a superior service.
It's not just about the financial upside. It's about the power to connect. Users can communicate across the federation via chat, video, or voice over any connection. We are building the biggest, most dynamic directory in the world that anyone can join. Our industry has always depended on interconnection and cooperation. The Fring Alliance simply takes us to the next level. Join the Alliance today. It's going to be fringing awesome.
Marketing team, super job. So, to conclude very quickly, a few things you need to remember. One, we're in a paradigm shift. Literally, we are now in a paradigm shift. Some of us are sooner, faster, but we all are. Second, it's about the user experience and about you re-engaging with your users to be able to really provide value. 3, members are equity owners. You're actually partner. You're actually owners of this thing. We all are. And one of the benefits is not just the roadmap, but you get some OTT DNA infusion into your organization, some enrichment. Fring Alliance enables federation. And again, if we need to bring it down into what's the value, is the federation, federation, federation. And together, we have an opportunity to build real value. And building real value can be done only if we do it together. We bring our asset, you bring your asset, and together we can truly build real value. And where's that? Where is that? Great. For those who join the Fring Alliance in September, we have a date in Istanbul. Thank you very much.